Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight, we have a big one here tonight. It is championship night here for the Friday night 802 Busch Series. Logan Koger here comes in with a healthy lead over Dustin Coggin and Brandon Guerin. So that is the top three in points. Steve Ritter fourth, Johnny Barker in fifth. No Ritter here tonight, but I think Barker's just a little bit too far back to make anything happen. So that'll probably be the top five here leaving here tonight. But I tell you what, 100 laps here is the distance. Qualifying just underway. And of course, we got to head on over to our Riptide Radio poll winner here for the final time in season number 1 here on the Friday nights. That will go to our points leader. He will be leading us to the green flag. So congrats to Logan there on yet another poll award. And here, that will make it poll number 6 for the 80 machine here in season number 1. So definitely awesome stuff. So why don't we head down trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup here for this 100 lap championship night here at Kansas Motor Speedway. So here we go, folks. Tonight's starting lineup will look like the following. Logan Koger in the 80 machine will be leading the field to the green flag to his outside, making, I believe, first ever start for the 29 machine. That is Tyler Lemon. Then in row number 2, we have Johnny Barker in the 6 machine rolling off third, and to his outside, the 62 machine of Frank Zingen. Dustin Coggin in the 46 machine. He will start in that 5th position. 6 going to Dan George Jr. in the 56. Brandon Guerin in the 1 car will roll off 7th. 8th going to Landon Audit. Dan George Sr. in the 71 machine will start 9th. And Bryson Anderson here in the 32 rounds out the top 10. Mike Kelly will start P number 11. And John Buell here will round out the field here tonight. So 12 drivers ready to rock and roll. The iRacing pace car here heads off down to pit road, and we get ready to rock and roll. Logan Koger here in that 80 machine fires on off, and we go green flag racing for the final time here tonight in season number 1. Koger will get clear of that 29 machine. The 29 of Tyler Lemon also clear into turn number 1 side by side, though, for that 3rd position as Frank Zingen trying to keep some momentum rocking and rolling in that 62 machine. Though Johnny Barker has the advantage at shorter distance, and I think that bottom side here will be where it is at here, at least for the first couple laps. Once the tires start going on away, Kansas, man, one of the raciest tracks both in real life and on the sim. So we're going to be in store, especially for some really good racing here tonight. Frank Zingen, I mean, I'm surprised I didn't pick up on it sooner. This 62 machine, every time he has loaded into a race, it's always been kind of a different paint scheme. It hasn't really clicked to me till we got a chance to really sit down and talk with Frank last broadcast. And he said, you know what, I like to pick the cars that have kind of the wildest wrecks at the speedways. And of course, this is Carson Quapple's Bass Pro Tracker machine here that just had a flip here at Kansas last weekend. So definitely know this car here very well. And I tell you what, that was a wild wreck to see there in real life. Just kind of almost jump scare there. Just that camera cuts away into a car upside down. It's like, holy smokes. But yeah, here tonight, we got cars here kind of minding the pace. Like we have John Buell here, even Dan George Sr. here kind of managing their pace, trying to keep those tires under them, because That's going to be the name of the game, especially here at Kansas under the sun here in this one. The track's going to be hot, going to be slick, so you want to manage your stuff as much as you can, though. That clean air, that's going to matter a lot as well, as we see a battle for the race lead, as well as a battle for third as Frank Zingen takes over that third position. As here we go, Johnny Barker taking a peek to the inside of Logan Koger there. Can't quite get the pass completed, at least this lap here. So 5 laps already have been started here tonight, and Logan Koger so far leading all 5 of them. But of course, we got to keep a eye on the Hot Wheels machine, as I got a little bit ahead of myself here. The 43 machine of Mike Kelly looking for one final win on the season. And coming into tonight, you know, Mike Kelly coming in tied with the most wins with Cody Gibson and Chad Coleman. So if Kelly could win here tonight, he would be on his own island of the most wins ever in the Friday Night Busch Series. That's because it's only been one season here so far. The Logan Koger here, he has set himself up with a win last week, that if he wins here tonight, he will jump up there and make it 4 different drivers having 4 wins on the season. Right now, Koger coming into tonight with 3 wins on the season. That would be impressive. Right now, he sits in the best spot. Also looks like maybe some trouble here early for the 71 machine of Dan George Sr. As, yeah, that right front definitely busted on that race car. That, you hate to see that, especially this early in this one, as the 71 machine here, his night will come to a early end in this one. Head back here to that battle for third, not over in this one, and almost contact there. Frank Zingen having to go way up the racetrack, having to lift to not clobber that front stretch wall down, and you can see losing 3 spots just off of turn number 4 just in that. So I wonder if Tyler Lemon maybe moved up just a little bit. Lemon, of course, in that Mountain Dew 29 machine. But here we go. Here comes Daniel George Jr. here, right on board with that 56 machine. He has been making his way to the front, already up 2 spots here inside these first 10 laps. So this 56 definitely looking pretty sporty, definitely trying to make his way towards the front here early in this one, and doing just that. Well, the biggest mover here so far in tonight's race is Mike Kelly. Kelly, of course, not taking a qualifying time, started in the back of the field as, the 1 car Brandon Guerin there, a little bit of a piece of the wall there through 1 and 2, so definitely maybe trying to find the limit of the racetrack. Definitely found it that time there in 1 and 2, but doesn't look like any sort of damage on the Barstool Sports number 1 machine, so looks like no harm, no foul for the time being. But I tell you what, top 2 checked on out for the time being, over a second advantage over third place. So the 80 and the 6 definitely pushing each other, pushing this pace up in front. You gotta wonder, how will this shake on out here for the rest of this one? Only 100 laps here tonight, so race was maybe scheduled for a little bit longer, but with the car count and whatnot, I definitely agree with that 100 lap. But with that, you know, that probably will make it just under a 1 stop and fuel cell. Question is, when do we see the first driver down on pit road? As all looks like Bryson Anderson going to have a little bit of right front damage on the 32 machine. So now Anderson will head down pit road here early in this one. Looks like Dan George Sr. back out here on the Speedway, so continue to click off laps here, of course, with probably a little bit of some damage on that race car. So that race car definitely not going to be driving at 100%, and that can always be extra challenging for a driver behind the wheel. Mike Kelly there able to get around Frank Zingen, now working on the 46 machine of Dustin Coggin. Coggin, of course, having a great inaugural season when it comes to this Friday night Busch Xfinity O'Reilly Series car, because I tell you what, leaving here tonight, he will come up just 1 spot short of his first ever championship. But I tell you what, he has put in the work this season. Overall, when you look at the stats, the driver with the most ever top 10s when it came to this season has been this driver of the 46 machine. I think if we talk to him, you know, next season, I think he'll say, you know what, we accomplished of kind of most of our goals last season, probably top 5 in points, have as many top 10 finishes. Next season, it'll probably be about those top 5 finishes. See if he can then get that one spot better there in the championship. We take a look here at the battle for that 3rd position, starting to heat on up as Mike Kelly drifts up to the outside wall. So Kelly's starting to dabble in that top lane there, just going to where cars aren't on the speedway, and that caused him to just get a little bit piece of the wall here. As here we go, he works over Dan George Jr. in that 56 machine, and Mike Kelly able to complete the pass there into turn number 3. Frank Zingen here right behind them, starting to put a lot of pressure once again on Dustin Coggin. Remember, Zingen only lost that spot because he had to lift there off of turn number 4 to not knock down that front stretch wall. So the 62 machine does have a lot of good speed here tonight. I think right now trying to manage that pace here for the time being. Johnny Barker here to the top side of 3 and 4. He will have a big run here down the front straightaway. Where will Barker try and go take that momentum? Now taking beak to the outside of Koger, and looks like once again into turn number 1, going to go to the high side. So we haven't seen anyone be super committed to that top side, run it lap after lap. Maybe the only other car, the black number 1 machine of Brandon Guerin, but now we see 2nd place Johnny Barker starting to search around this racetrack. And I tell you what, Tyler Lemon has quickly closed that gap to those race leaders. He is now about 3 or so car lengths behind the 6, so Lemon is on the move here. Right behind them, Frank Zingen just getting around Dustin Coggin for that 6th position. So 62 machine here back into that 6th position for the time being. Logan Koger here starting to pick up the pace. Johnny Barker in that middle lane, not quite having the pace that he needs to, run back down the 80 machine, at least in this middle lane. You can see there, big time loose. Johnny Barker sawing on the wheel. Barker into the wall down the front straightaway. He's going to have to yank that car there off the wall if he can, and looks like will be the courteous driver, keep it up, out of harm's way, keep it out of his competitor's line. So Barker will go from 2nd now all the way back to 7th and have a lot more work cut out for that 6 machine. Up towards the front here, Mike Kelly able to track down and get around Tyler Lemon. So Mike Kelly up into P number 2, and now it becomes a battle here between Koger and Kelly, and this will be a lot of bragging rights, a lot of pride in this race win, especially between the two of them, either for Koger to tie Kelly or for Kelly to have his own record here at the end of season number 1. I tell you what, Mike Kelly coming into this season, running part-time this season, but with that part-time schedule, I mean, he has about a 29% win percentage on the season, has made 14 starts coming into tonight. This will be start number 15. Yeah, like I said, all of those 14 starts, 4 of them have been wins. So this 43 machine, when he is here, that thing is pretty fast. Also, it looks like here we have Bryson Anderson here back down on pit road. So Anderson looks like maybe having some sort of issue. We'll go check that on out here off of turn number 2. And looks like Anderson having that damage on the race car, just going to call it a night and say, yep, that's no real gaining any spots or anything like that. Not in the points. Don't blame the 32 machine for that move. So we approach here the quarter-way mark of this one, and so far it has been clean and green, as kind of, 2 casualties in the race, 2 drivers out of this race here early. Besides that, we are shaping up for a good battle for the race lead as Mike Kelly takes a peek to the outside. Kelly, big time loose. He will go through the grass on the front straightaway, somehow hang on to the race car. It's not over yet. Wow. What a save there by Mike Kelly, as Kelly went up a little bit higher than Logan Koger, try and get some of that clean air. Man, that right rear just stepped on out, kind of like we saw with Johnny Barker once he got into the wall. And I tell you what, A heck of a save there by the 43 machine. Had to save that thing not only once, not only twice, but at least 3 times, all off of turn number 4 there. So that 43 machine will try and put his head back down, try and get things rocking and rolling here once again, as he will get to the outside here of Frank Zingen, as Zingen kind of had a weird entry there into turn number 1. Not sure if he got loose or what happened, but that 62 definitely just kind of shot on down. As I'm hearing drivers here starting to complain about the right rears going on away, and we saw that there with Mike Kelly, and I think that's where the drivers are going to have to be really careful, is with that skinny pedal, that gas pedal in these race cars, because it seems like these right rears falling off a cliff here very dramatically. And I tell you what, if I'm seeing that, I'm on top of the box, on top of the spotter stand, I'm telling my driver, hey, be smooth with that gas. Try and keep as much temperature out of those rear tires as possible. So Frank Zingen here losing 2 more spots as Johnny Barker and Dustin Coggin both able to get on by up towards the front here. Here comes now Tyler Lemon. Lemon has run down Logan Koger now, and now starting to put pressure on the 80 machine. Koger, these first 25 laps, has led all of them here tonight, so he is looking in a pretty good spot. Like I said, once he leaves here tonight, going to be our inaugural 802 Busch Series champion when we walk away here tonight at Kansas. And as we can see here, Logan Koger, kind of a lazier entry into turn number 1, really arcs that car on out, but still gets to that bottom side where Tyler Lemon there a little bit lower, trying to keep that air on the nose of the race car for the downforce, but then of course has to kind of pinch that car a little bit more at the apex to keep that car wrapping, as well as start to wash on up maybe just a little bit sooner than the 80 machine on corner exit. 43 machine was able to get back by the 56 here tonight, so Kelly here back up into 3rd. George Jr. here back into 4th here, and I tell you what, a solid run so far for the first ever start from the 56 machine, as he has run all day here once we have taken the green flag inside this top 5. Things kind of calming on down just a little bit out here on the Speedway. Logan Koger here still keeping charge of this race, still keeping the pace, as Tyler Lemon, like we saw there a few laps ago, within about 2 car lengths, and has since kind of started to trail on back just a little bit from that 80 machine. So I wonder if Tyler Lemon maybe used up his stuff a little bit to get to the 80, as big time hit for the 29 machine. He popped the wall there pretty good off of turn number 4. Now we can see Lemon outside of half a second on Logan Koger. So just that wall hit there, kills that momentum just that enough. You got to hope, though, you didn't damage any of that race car, because, man, you start adding damage to a track like this and you can start being off the pace, even a 10th a lap. That doesn't sound like much, but you put that together 10 laps in a row, that's already a second back from where you need to be. Johnny Barker here within striking distance of Brandon Guerin for that 7th position. So the 6-car Barker, remember it, into the outside wall on the front straightaway, has since been able to get the momentum here back into the 6 machine, trying to figure out the right pace in this one. And right now, still about that 3 or so car length here behind the 1 machine. As here we go, first taker on pit road. We have some strategy call. The first one here, Johnny Barker on a pit road. Barker, though, pretty quick on pit road. Was it too fast? Did he get busted for speeding? We'll have to keep an eye on that for the 6 machine, but green flag pit stops here are upon us. The drivers that are going for the 2-stop strategy here down on pit road already. Now the question is, when does everyone else decide to come down pit road and start their service as well? Everyone else going to stay on out at least for another few laps or so. Johnny Barker here getting service on that race car, so I believe. And it looks like here is the penalty for the 6 machine. So did not get that thing woed on up enough, and Johnny Barker here will have a speeding penalty on pit road. That is about a 30-second hold, and that'll put Barker probably at least 2, if not more, laps down. And I tell you what, a race like tonight that, you know, could very well go green to checkered, that is a heartbreaker to see. Three cars kind of almost within striking distance of one another. Dustin Coggin here starting to track down the 56 of Daniel George Jr. here. That gap about less than 0.4 of a second. So as you can see, they're about 5 car lengths or so down the straightaways. But as we see Coggin here, he is definitely up on the top side, definitely running that fence even higher than the 56 here. And you can see both cars wiggling, wobbling out here. That tells me the right rear is stiff in these race cars, or it's very hot. That grip not in the back end of these race cars, and drivers are on their toes, especially as this run continues to go on. I tell you what, Mike Kelly, he is on a move. Last time by has been about a 10th or better each and every lap. So the 43 machine, even after that big slide, that big save down the front straightaway, Mike Kelly closing on into a second back from Logan Coger. So this race far from over here tonight. Tell you what, it's been a minute since we've seen the NOS Energy 47 machine out here, but it is great to see here John Buell out here on the Speedway. And I tell you what, I've seen some wild wrecks here on iRacing, but I tell you what, this 47 machine has had some of my highlights, let's say. I always think back to the Gateway incident. This car somehow jumped up on the inside wall and was stuck there for quite a few laps, and I was blown away by it to see it here. But yeah, I tell you what, it always is good seeing John out here on the Speedways. Here we go. This battle starting to heat on up here for that 4th position, as well as the race lead is Tyler Lemon right on the back bumper of our race leader here. We will head up to that, as that is definitely a little bit closer than that other battle. We'll kind of bounce between the two of them, but right now Tyler Lemon here starting to pick back up the pace in that Mountain Dew number 29 machine, and he is looking pretty sporty. I think the only thing that's holding him back here is that dirty air, as he will try and get as much clean air there as he can, try and put those lefts right on that white line. And I tell you what, that thing still turning on the bottom side. That is a good sight to see. Probably in these next few laps here, we are going to have a 3-car battle here for the race lead, as Mike Kelly starting to sniff the draft of the race leaders. He is definitely within the draft here of the 29 machine. Let's ride on board here with Mike Kelly, see what he is doing here to put down these kind of lap times that we're seeing here tonight. We see Logan Coger here now watching that mirror, taking that 80 machine back to the bottom side on both ends of the Speedway. I'm sure he's seeing Tyler Lemon do it, as well as Mike Kelly do it, and make really good pace as well. So drivers definitely trying to stretch it to this lap 50 mark. They should be able just to make it here. So this could be a one-stop race. That means that pit stop will be very, very important as we continue to ride on board with Mike Kelly here. And I tell you what, he has closed in the gap now within 2 car lengths here of second place. But like we saw with Tyler Lemon there in second, man, you start to get inside that bubble of 2 car lengths. It is really tough to pass us. Here we go. Mike Kelly keeping his foot to the floor, up to the top side. We'll see what momentum that 43 can generate here down the back straightaway. Going to take a peek to the inside of Tyler Lemon, get the nose to the inside, and sail it on into turn number 3. Wow, a power move there by Mike Kelly. He will reclaim second. That is the best the 43 has been here tonight. Now he sets his sights once again on that 80 machine. Dustin Coggin here within 2 car lengths here of the 56 machine one again. Coggin right here running that middle lane about a car length and a half off the bottom, getting that car to kind of rotate nicely there down the straightaway. I should say in the middle of the corner for the straightaway. As it looks like, yeah, these guys keeping very, very similar pace as last time by. These two within a tenth of one another. This time by, though, I think it will flip the other way. Yes, it will. Now that time, Dan George Jr. with the better lap time. Tyler Lemon there not giving up on that second position. Has a nose to the inside here of Mike Kelly. Kelly will try and keep the momentum in that second lane. Going to be tough to do with the limited grip in those rear tires, but able to hang on to it though. Tyler Lemon slowly pulling on even with that 43 machine. Those two will be door number to door number here off of turn number 2. Mike Kelly, though, with the top side momentum. Dustin Coggin into pit road as well. So the 46 machine going to be the first to pit for the one-stop gang. Now the question is, who will be the next car to pit road of this bunch? It wouldn't surprise me to see, a Mike Kelly down soon. Tyler Lemon just trying to kind of short pit it over Logan Koger and try and jump out in front of him, because as we see, Koger has the point, and it has been very, very tough to get around this 80 machine here tonight. Brandon Guerin also down here on pit road, so the one machine will head to pit road here this time by. Top 3 all going to keep their foot to the floor here, going to stay on out another lap time. And I say if you're Logan Koger, try and split this race probably right in half, having really good pace this first run. That'll probably be the case here in the second run. Frank Zingen now in the 62 machine. He is down on pit road. As, oh no, trouble for Dustin Coggin. He will get busted as well for speeding on pit road. So Coggin, another driver with a long pit stop here. That will cost him quite a bit of track position here in this one. Frank Zingen in the stall, getting service on the 62 machine as we head back up to this great battle for the race lead, as Mike Kelly once again starting to put pressure on Logan Koger for that race lead. Dustin Coggin here back onto pit road once again, so tough break for the 46 machine, as it looks like he will probably call it a night. Like I said, can't gain anything in the points, can't lose anything in the points, and with being over an extra lap down, that is going to be a tall order to try and overcome here tonight, as the field very much spread on out here in this one, all except for these 3 cars we're looking at on screen here in this one. Top 3 all within, half a second of one another. As interesting here, Frank Zingen able to get out in front of Brandon Guerin, and by, a decent margin. Guerin just going through 3 and 4. Frank Zingen here in this one all the way into turn number 1. So that 62 machine very well on and off of pit road, able to make up a lot of time. But here we go, that time by at the stripe. Logan Koger will be the first car to see the cross flags as we are halfway down, halfway home here tonight in championship night here at Kansas Speedway. All right, I hear the radio chatter here from the 80 team. Logan Koger here down on pit road here, this time by Mike Kelly, going to keep his foot in it. He will take over the point as Logan Koger here down on pit road, going to bring Tyler Lemon as well, as Lemon able to make up a ton of time there on the 80 machine, going to be right on the back bumper. If Tyler Lemon there did not speed on pit road, man, he was on it then coming to pit road there. So that leaves about 4 cars yet to pit here tonight in this one. Mike Kelly, John Buell, Dan George Jr., as well as Landon Audit, as Buell will get a little piece of the wall there off of turn number 4. As here we go, we see the 56 machine of George Jr. here in to pit road here, nice and safely, nicely done there by the 56 onto pit road, as now that only makes it 3 cars yet to pit. Mike Kelly, Landon Audit, and John Buell here in this one. Off of pit road, big time development. Tyler Lemon able to beat Logan Koger on and off of pit road, as a 29 machine now in front of the 80, as well as Frank Zingen with the short pit able to jump in front of Logan Koger. So Koger's going to have his work cut out for him here in this one. 56 machine down and away from his pit stop, no penalties, nothing to really report there from the 56 machine. So down and away safely. Should be really interesting to see where he comes on out. Oh yeah, way in front of the 1 car, Brandon Guerin. So a solid stop there from the 56. As here we go, our race leader Mike Kelly here down on pit road. So Kelly trying to run this thing as much as he can out of fuel, as he will bring it here into his pit stall, as it will be Landon Audit here in this one, taking over the race lead. We'll pick up a bonus point here in the 12 machine. As now that only leaves 2 cars yet to come to pit road. And of course being this Hellman's number 12 of Landon Audit, as well as John Buell. Is now John Buell here down on pit road. Audit will stay out another lap for sure, be able to pick up a bonus point this time by with a lap led. Up towards the front here, Logan Koger wasted no time to try and get back to the point. The 80 machine pushing those tires a little bit to get back in front of Tyler Lemon, as Logan Koger here back up into P number 2, and Mike Kelly was staying on out as long as he did. He lost about 3 seconds there, but remember, this 43 machine now will have about 3 lap fresher tires for this final run here tonight. Landon Audit here safely down and onto pit road. So that will now conclude our green flag pit stops here tonight from championship night. So when this all cycles on out and all things are said and done, Logan Koger here back to the point in this one. Tyler Lemon in second. Frank Zingen jumping up to third. The question is, how will these tires be on this 62 machine? I do like what I'm seeing running that bottom side. That is what Frank will be needing to do here for as long as he can in this final run. And I think with green flag pit stops done and over with, why don't we do maybe a little turn 3, turn it up here tonight for the final time in season number 1 of the 802 Busch Series here at Kansas. Alrighty, we head on back here to check out this battle for the race lead. Once again, Tyler Lemon not letting Logan Koger out of his sights, has since been, once again, as we see here, about 2 to 3 car lengths off the back bumper of our race leader. But these race leaders got to be careful, because Mike Kelly, he is continuing to close the gap now within a 1.5 seconds of our race leader here. That's right, on board here with our race leader, looking on back to that 29 machine as we ride on board with Logan Koger. Remember, walking away for sure tonight with his 6th career pole on the season, so that is definitely awesome to see here by the 80 machine. And leaving here tonight with the laps led already here in this one, Logan Koger going to walk away with some more bonus points with the most laps led here tonight in this one. Tyler Lemon there a little bit more aggressive on corner entry than Koger, but Koger once again going to be able to play defensive drive and give that dirty air to that 29 machine if needed. But I'm sure both those drivers, like I said there before, jumping on board with the 80, looking at that relative, looking in their mirror, seeing that blue 43 machine get closer and closer each lap. I mean, last time by, Logan Koger at 31.93, Tyler Lemon at 31.84, Mike Kelly a 31.53, so at least 0.3 of a second faster than our leaders. Man, it's going to be tough to hold him on off. Koger goes for the block there on the 29 machine. Lemon showing the nose there down the back straightaway, but Koger going to take that on away. And here we go, Mike Kelly now within striking distance, top 3, all under a blanket here in this one. Kelly just going to drive there to where no one else is on the speedway. That is the top side in 1 and 2. Mike Kelly now trying to get around Tyler Lemon. Now where does Logan Koger go? Does he block the top? It looks like he does. Koger will try and take the line away from Mike Kelly. Gonna be able to do just that, but Kelly clear for second. Man, that was a beautiful pass there by the 43 machine. Kelly gonna try and set up Koger here down this back straightaway. What kind of run can he get? Not the run that he needed, so we'll have to try it on again here, a different lap. Here in 3 and 4, both cars going to go to the bottom side. All 3 going to go to the bottom side. But man, Mike Kelly able to stay on that white line just that little bit longer. I tell you what, that is definitely what's keeping the speed in that 43. Here we go, battle for the race lead. Mike Kelly down low. Logan Koger for the first time here tonight will lose the race lead on the speedway. New race leader here on lap 68, Mike Kelly here to the point in this one. Further on back here, Frank Zingen getting passed here by Dan George Jr. as Frank Zingen having some right front damage on the 62 machine. He is slow on the apron. Frank probably going to be bringing that 62 machine here down to pit road here this time. So looks like we might lose another driver here in this one. I mean, already lost 4 drivers. This will be driver number 5 here in this one. Logan Koger here gonna maybe lose some more positions here. As here we go, Tyler Lemon to the inside of Koger. The Lemon gets big time tight, pushes up the racetrack almost into the side of Koger. He has to get out of the gas a ton, and with that, that gives Koger once again a little bit more breathing room, a little bit more breathing time in P number 2. So yeah, the 62 machine of Frank Zingen down on pit road here once again. And this time by, we will see about 30 laps to go. So already only about 5 or so laps away from the old countdown clock here. Landon Audit with those fresher tires here, trying to work over Brandon Guerin for that 5th position. So Audit is trying to race and does drive his way up into the top 5 here in this one. Also, we see another car here down on pit road. John Buell will bring it to pit road, probably will bring it to an end of the night. So that only leaves 6 cars here out on the speedway, and that is about 6 cars here on the lead lap. Tyler Lemon here once again to the back bumper of Logan Koger. Lemon to the inside, Koger up top in that 80 machine. As last time these two were side by side, Tyler got big time tight, had to get way out of the gas. Here this time, much more even into turn number 3. We can see up in front of them maybe a little bit of lap traffic. How will this play into this one as Tyler Lemon, big time slide there off of turn number 4. We even saw tire smoke off the right rear of that 29 machine. That tire's going to be hot. Lemon will probably have to back down the pace just a little bit for the time being. Cool off that tire there. So with this, Mike Kelly out to the race lead, now over a second advantage over this battle for second here in this one. Another car we see here heading to pit road. Brandon Guerin here. Looks like another driver here with some sort of problem. As the one car here heading to pit lane, looks like maybe motor going on that car, as well as, man, another car down. Now only 5 cars out on the speedway. Of course, those 5 cars here still on the lead lap. We actually have Dan George Sr. back out here clicking off laps. So Senior already sitting in the top 10. He could definitely get quite a few more positions before it's all said and done. About, as we see, quite a few laps down, but still some opportunity to get around a few drivers. Dustin Coggin could definitely get around this 46 machine before the end of this one. Tyler Lemon there off of turn number 2, able to get clear of Logan Koger. So that will for sure cool things on off quite a bit for the time being, as everyone now running in their respective positions for the time being. As here we go, 25 to go. We go into the countdown clock here in championship night for the 802 iRacing Busch Series. And of course, coming into tonight, Logan Koger sitting with that points lead. I mean, while we got some time, we might as well run down here the kind of championship standings for at least the top 10. As Logan Koger, of course, we'll be talking to him here tonight with that championship here. Dustin Coggin, like I said, brought it home in a respectable second in the points. Like I said, the 46 machine leaving the season with the most top 10 finishes of anyone on the year. Brandon Guerin, another solid season. He will come home 3rd in points. Steve Ritter in 4th. Johnny Barker 5th. Ron Holyfield will finish in 6th in the points. Bryson Anderson able to jump up to 7th in points. So the 32 machine able to walk away with a top 10 in points. Rob Lowell here, he will be another one inside of the top 10. George Ledsma in 9th, and Cody Gibson, he held on to the championship lead, the first 10 weeks, even after missing quite a few races late in the season. Cody Gibson going to be 10th in points. Drivers that have picked up a pole this season. Logan Koger with the pole win here tonight. That actually sets him on his own level. He came into tonight tied with Cody Gibson for 5 poles apiece. Here leaving tonight, Logan Koger will lead the season with 6 poles. Of course, Gibson with 5. Mike Kelly, 4 poles on the season. Chad Coleman has 3 quick times. Steve Ritter with 2. And then quite a few drivers with 1 Riptide Radio pole award, that being Frank Zingen, Joe Hudson, Dustin Coggin, Rick Kennedy, and Jason Raymond. When we look at the wins in the inaugural season, man, some good names in the winner's circle at some time in these 25 races here in this first season. Of course, like I said, coming into tonight, Cody Gibson, Chad Coleman, Mike Kelly, all sitting with 4 wins apiece. Kelly looking to be the only driver with 5. He has the race lead now with 20 to go here in this one. Logan Koger, our champion, walking away with a respectable 3 wins on the season. Of course, winning last week. That, of course, coming at Nashville Super Speedway. And a great win by the 80 machine. Brandon Guerin, 2 wins on the season for the 1 machine. And then quite a few drivers, just like we saw with the Riptide Radio Pole Award. Quite a few drivers with 1 win. That, of course, Chris Mackey, Joey Gattina, Tanner Marr, Aiden Tatro, Jeff Pogo, Johnny Barker, and Isaac Salas, as well as myself here. Before I jumped in the booth, kind of second half of the season, we actually made a select few starts and was able to get that elusive 802 iRacing win under my belt. I was pretty pumped up about that. So kind of a wild season for me overall, if I think about it in the big picture, from going behind the wheel, wrecking first race at Daytona. I tell you what, team wasn't too pumped with me then. Took a few weeks off rebuilding the race car, and to end up with an 802 iRacing win, I mean, that's something I can brag about for the rest of my life, just like all the other drivers there in victory lane at some point this season. As I always like to look at kind of consistency in that sort of aspect, the driver with over 5 wins and the highest top 10 percentage. So that is the percentage, how often a driver finishes in the top 10 and when they show on up. That, of course, going, like I said before, to the 46 machine of Dustin Coggin, has an 83 percentage top 10 finish. So 83% of the time when that 46 machine loads on in, he is finishing inside the top 10. That, of course, is the case here tonight, as Coggin will bring home a 10th place finish. Then the second best here on the season, kind of surprising, that is actually the 23 of Joe Hudson. Hudson comes in with an 80% top 10 finish average. Same with Logan Koger, as well as Chad Coleman. So a lot of good names sitting there at that 80% top 10 average finish. Then right behind them, Mike Kelly sitting at 79%. Cody Gibson, 73%. Steve Ritter, then it starts to drop off here. Steve Ritter sitting about 63% of the time. Brandon Guerin sitting at 60%. So I'm sure when Guerin goes back, looks at the season in a whole, he'll probably want to try and get that number up, you know, closer to that 80% mark that we see our champion Logan Koger sitting at. Rick Kennedy sits at 56% of the time. Ron Holyfield, 55% of the time. So awesome to see that from the 25 machine. Then Johnny Barker sits there about 52. And that's pretty much the final driver there, with more than 10 or so starts that averages more times than not to finish inside of the top 10. Then we head to the top 5 percentage. This one a lot harder to hit, especially inside that 50% mark. And right now, really a few drivers sit in that with over 10 starts. One being Chad Coleman. Coleman leaving the season 80% of the time when that 38 machine loads into a race. He is finishing inside the top 5. Then Mike Kelly, our current race leader, he sits at a 71%. That's wild to see. And then our champion, I think this is where Logan Koger was able to get those points difference, get that advantage he needed to walk away as a champion. Koger walking away with the season with a 56 percentage of finishing inside of the top 5 or better. So that's where he really beats, the other competitors inside of the top 5, because then we got to go to Dustin Coggin. He sits at a respectable, 42% of the time, but that difference right there is what made the difference for this championship here in this one. Those are the only drivers here sitting above that 50 percentage mark here in this season. As here we go. Mike Kelly next time by, he will be the first driver to see 2 open palms from the flagman. It will be 10 to go at the stripe, and Mike Kelly a 2-second advantage over Tyler Lemon. Lemon, of course, first ever start, will finish up on the podium. That will be exciting. Can't wait to talk to Tyler here after this one, as well as Logan Koger. We'll save him for last because he will be chatting with us with the championship trophy in his hands. Last few times by, Mike Kelly has been the best and fastest car here out on the Speedway. He is definitely making that 43 machine work very, very well. When it's all said and done, Mike Kelly going to be the biggest mover here tonight of this one. As here we go, single digits laps left here. As that time by, we go 9 laps to go. Tyler Lemon, of course, like I said, in that second position. Third is Logan Koger. Daniel George Jr. here in the 56, another driver, first ever start. He will walk away here tonight with a top 5 finish. That is awesome to see for the 56 machine, as well as Landon Audit. Audit coming into tonight. Let me double check his stats, because I'm really curious. This is definitely not Landon's first, top 10 finish, but it will definitely help the stats when we look at the season in a whole. As actually, yeah, it looks like this will be Landon Audit's first top 5 finish on the season. Audit, of course, just having just over 10 or so starts, and this will be the first top 5. Of course, he already has 3 top 10 finishes coming in tonight, but this will be his career best finish here in a Friday night race. So that is awesome to see for the 12 machine. Like I said, the only other car here out on the Speedway, Dan George Sr. here in the 71 machine. He is making his first ever start as well. A little father-son action here in this one. And right now it looks like the advantage goes to the kid, as it looks like as long as nothing crazy happens in these last few laps, we'll walk away with a top 5 finish. Though George Sr. going to walk away with a top 10 for the first ever start. That's awesome to see as well for the 71. So here we go, getting to the end of this one. This time by, Mike Kelly will see the 5 to go signal. Now just down to 1 palm from the flagman. It is 5 to go here in championship night to put an end on the season, cap it on off after 25 weeks of racing. Like I said, we saw many different winners. Let me try and double check, counting on up while I keep yapping. But yeah, overall a great season, and Logan Koger will walk away with that championship trophy. So I believe about 13 or so different winners on the season. That's pretty much averaging a new winner at least in half of our races this season. So it has definitely been a competitive season, all things considered. We got to appreciate everyone for racing here. I mean, Dustin Coggin, Brandon Guerin, as well as Logan Koger. I mean, diehards in this series. I mean, missing one racer left. That is commitment by those drivers, and I love to see it. We, of course, got to thank everyone else to be a part of this, whether you raced one race or many races. It's been fun to see you out on track. We look forward to seeing you next season as well, because this series isn't gone. It'll just pick back up here in the fall time after everyone's fun Friday night activities are done and over with. And I know for myself, hopefully we'll be back out there on some Friday nights, turning left and making some great memories here this summer. As there we go, Mike Kelly seeing popsicle sticks up in the air here for the final time in season number 1. Mike Kelly, we'll see the 2 to go. Next time by will be the white flag. Once we get the white flag, we are racing back to the checker no matter what happens out here on the Speedway. And Mike Kelly, even a part-time schedule, he is looking to cap off a new record on Friday nights. Mike Kelly looking for a career-setting 5th win on the season. As this time by, we will see that white flag, and we have 1 lap left in the season. And an auto here trying to stay on the lead lap. I think that will probably be the case. Kelly probably not going to push the envelope. Let Audit get that final lap there in that 12 machine. But here we go through 3 and 4 for the final time. Mike Kelly will pick up win number 5 on the season and set him to his own level. Off of turn number 4, here he comes. Logan Koger will walk away this season with the big trophy. Logan Koger is a season 1 802 iRacing Busch Series champion. Tyler Lemon, the other driver there, finishing inside of the podium. We'll be chatting with those 3 here after the race, but first we gotta go celebrate some wins. Of course, Mike Kelly gonna celebrate their win here tonight. Logan Koger gonna celebrate the championship. As here we go, Mike Kelly this time gonna spin it on out through the front straightaway, and he will celebrate that career win number 5 here on Friday nights. I tell you what, he is definitely pumped on up. Logan Koger as well here, gonna park it and start to burn it on down on the front straightaway as the 43 machine and the 80 will celebrate here at Kansas. I tell you what, it is always a great feeling to see 2 cars doing burnout celebrations on the front straightaway. That means a season has come to an end and is wrapped on up in a great way, and that is definitely the case here tonight. As man, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for everyone tuning on in. Don't go anywhere, folks, because of course right after this we have our post-race show. We'll be chatting with our top 3 finishers as well. As that will be it. So we'll be right back here to Kansas Motor Speedway to chat with our post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Going to be chatting with our runner-up finisher first, as we will wait to chat with Logan till the very end. But here we go, runner-up finish by the 29 machine, Tyler Lemon. We'll get a copy here from Tyler. Tyler, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how you feeling after 100 laps here tonight at Kansas?
Pretty good. Thought it was a good race. It was fun racing there with Mike and Logan. Yeah, Mike came in a couple laps after Logan and I did, and I kind of burnt my stuff up there trying to get by Logan. And once Mike got into clean air, man, he disappeared.
Yeah, he did. That 43 machine had a lot of pace, as well as you did here tonight, Tyler. But like you said, man, you're trapped in some dirty air a lot of this race. How'd that kind of affect the handling? Because we saw a lot of cars get loose. I mean, you got pretty loose quite a few times, especially off of turn number 4.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really affect me in turn 3 and 4. I think it's just a loose corner because you got to carry so much speed. But I definitely had trouble getting off turn 2, get tucked up behind somebody there, and it started pushing real bad. So it's kind of why I changed my entry to kind of hug that white line a little bit and try to get some more clean air in the nose. But overall, it was a good race.
Yeah, I mean, that we saw many a time, especially with Logan Koger there in front of you. We see that 29 machine, at least we always hear it now in NASCAR, right? Headlight lower, and you're most of the times, a whole car length lower on entry, but then kind of, had to be maybe a little bit higher on corner exit because you're quite going to get that probably preferred angle, let's say, through the corner, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I race. I race with Chop Shop on Saturday nights in their Xfinity League, O'Reilly League, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of just how I run. It's, like you said, you got to get air on that nose. And, the car was just real loose. It was real right rear, driving the night, which is fun. Makes it a lot of fun. This car usually gets really tight. But, so yeah, I don't know if I could have. I'm not really one to kind of swing high and then dive down the bottom. I always worry about burning up my right front. But, like I said, it was still a good time. So we do go to this track here on Saturday night here in a few weeks. This is definitely going to help me maybe come up with some different ideas to see what can happen then.
Yeah, definitely some good practice for you overall. But yeah, first ever start here in the 802 iRacing League, and I tell you what, to walk away with a runner-up finish, that's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, man, I saw post earlier that they were looking for some drivers for tonight, and so I said something and said, hey, I'm free and stuff like that. I took a new job a couple months ago, and unfortunately my Friday nights aren't going to be free for much longer, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. I know they said there might be another season in the fall, so I'd love to come back and race with these guys in the fall and for another season and see what I can do. I love these cars. They're just a blast to drive. So they got just enough horsepower. You can run off that right rear, and that's how I like it.
Yeah, I tell you what, that is definitely these cars. And I tell you what, when it comes to iRacing, I think when it comes to the NASCAR stuff especially, these cars definitely a fan favorite to be behind the wheel of.
Yeah, for sure. The Cup cars just stink. I mean, they're kind of fun, I guess, but I guess they drive like they do in real life. It's just the real aero sensitive and stuff like that. When you get with these cars, man, it's like I said, they got just enough horsepower to where you can really drive off that right rear, kind of like you're on a dirt track, and just makes it a lot of fun. I mean, I know iRacing did an update a while back, and it made the car kind of tighter, so then it kind of burns up the right front a lot quicker. But if you can get into a track like tonight where like I said, you can run that right rear, man, it makes for some good racing, and it makes it hard to pass, but it's still fun.
Yeah, that it is. I'm sure you guys were having a whale of a time there behind the wheel in this one. And Tyler, I like to get a little insight, from drivers or whatnot. So, what kind of brought you either into racing or what brought you onto iRacing here?
Oh man, growing up, my dad and I, we always watched, the truck races on Friday nights or whenever they were, and the Xfinity or rally cars on Saturday, and we always watched Cup on Sunday. Racing was what I grew up, you know, watching over the weekends with my dad. He was a big Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan, and I was a big Dale Jr. fan. Watched him all those years, and I don't know, man. It's just racing's always been something I love to do. There's a lot of good local short tracks around me here in northern Indiana, and I always love to spend a Saturday night at a local short track. So, um, obviously, being a Dale Jr. fan, iRacing, he's so involved with it. That's how I learned about it, and yeah, man. Finally, when I got some good enough internet where I live, I jumped right on it, and I fell in love with it, especially with these O'Reilly cars. They're just a blast to drive.
Yeah, that they are. And I always think of the cool aspect of iRacing, right? You get to see these cars on TV, and then you yourself, can go jump behind the wheel of them. Yeah, not get the same exact experience, but man, it's pretty close. I tell people it gets your adrenaline pumping, even just being on the sim.
Oh, absolutely, man. I don't know how many times I've been pouring sweat, after wheeling one of these things for 100 plus laps. So, yeah, people don't usually believe me, how real it feels and stuff like that. And then I let them get behind, the wheel and stuff like that, and they're in awe. So people think I'm crazy for what these rigs kind of cost, I guess, than what I got in mine. And it's nothing super fancy, but yeah, I'm not rich by any means. So if I can get this as close as I can get, then I'll take it for sure.
Oh, 100%. And Tyler, that's a perfect segue here to my next and kind of final question for you on the night. I always like to get a little insight, see what people are using for wheel pedals, what are they looking at these days, and it's always cool to hear what people are running because it seems like not too many people have the same exact setup. Let's say.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many different options out there. I've been racing for a couple years now here in June. So I have a RC Racing cockpit from they're out of California. I've got a 34-inch curved single monitor, and everything else is Fanatec. I got a Fanatec DD wheelbase, the NASCAR Fanatec wheel, the V3 pedals, their shifter. So yeah, it was Fanatec all the way, and the only thing I've ever had an issue with is my shifter. Kind of got to be careful with mischief. So I do have paddles on my NASCAR wheel just in case I get have some issues. But yeah, man, that's what I got. It's pretty basic, I guess. Some people kind of a lot of people love triples. I just don't think I want to go that far into it, and take up that much space.
Yeah, that's kind of the big X factor with triples, right? It's not as much as the cost. Yeah, you're buying 2 extra monitors, but yeah, I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is just how much room triple monitors take on up.
Yeah, for sure. And I had my computer custom built by a buddy of mine, and I don't know nothing about computers. It was a miracle from the Lord that I was able to get iRacing downloaded and figure out how to do all this. And so I don't really want to max my computer out, make it work real hard running triples. And I think I do pretty decent with this single. I wouldn't mind maybe a 45-inch LG curved ultra wide, maybe. But like I said, it's hard to want to spend more money when I have pretty good success with what I got.
Oh, 100% there. It's, just like changing the setup, right? If it's working, hey, why change it there? And here tonight, Tyler, putting on a great show, runner up finish. Congrats on that. So, yeah, man, we look forward to hopefully seeing you, sometime again here in the future. But here tonight, we're going to go hand over the mic to you one last time here and have you thank who you got to thank, whether teammates, sponsors on the car, or maybe anyone else you want to shout out in the YouTube broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, man, I'll go ahead and start with 802's sponsors here. I'm under their tab, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give them some shout outs. BG Graphix, StoneJunior.com, GStone Motors, 802 Racing Lead Podcast, Riptide Radio. Big shout out to all you guys, for helping this league out. I know running a league's not cheap, so I'm sure everyone that runs 802 appreciates your guys' help. Yeah, man, just BK Designs for my paint scheme. I've been running this scheme for a couple of seasons now, and I just love this Mountain Dew. The shine it has in day or night races. So big shout out to BK Designs. I'm pretty sure my mom's watching. She's a big fan. She always watches my races on Saturday night. So Mom, if you can hear me, love you. Appreciate you watching. And then, you guys over here at Turn 3 Racing Network, I'm really excited to go back here and watch the broadcast. I watched some of your guys' stuff earlier, and you guys definitely do an awesome job. So keep up the good work, man, and hopefully I can join up for next season.
Yeah, man, we appreciate the kind words there, and we got to thank you for jumping on into the race here tonight, and a great finish for you here at Kansas, Tyler. So you, my man, have yourself a great weekend. Good luck on your Saturday night race, and yeah, I'm sure if we see you again, I'm sure we'll be talking to you as well.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks again, and have a good rest of your weekend.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our second place finisher, the Mountain Dew number 29 machine of Tyler Lemon. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the winner of tonight's race. That is the 43 machine here of Mike Kelly. Mike, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Brett, what's up, my man?
Oh, man, we are doing good. How are you feeling after 100 laps? You walk away with the win. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, how about that Hot Wheels Toyota Supra number 43? That baby was on a rail. It was on a Hot Wheel track, I think.
Yeah, it definitely was, especially when that thing finally got to clean air. I mean, you just checked on out. Where'd that pace come from? And you got to love this place, right?
Of course I do. It's my home track, besides Iowa. It's 195 miles to Iowa and 205 to Kansas. So they're my two home tracks, and had a good time down there last weekend. But, yeah, didn't really care if I started up front. I was fastest in practice, but I did try to go out and qualify, and got into the wall pretty much both my laps, and said, well, doesn't matter. I'll start at the back, and got up to the front pretty good. I really just concentrated on, I knew it was, 250 lap runs, and just concentrated on really running easy because I knew on a green track tire wear was significant. So got up through about half the field and started I was about 3 seconds behind the leaders there, and just kept rolling the bottom and just was eating them up, and got up to them. Of course, about lost it coming out of 4, and really got the right rear angry, and ended up right back where I was, 3 seconds behind again. So had to burn everything up just to catch them again by the end of that first run, and ran longer than they did. And that, that worked out really well for me if there would have been a yellow or not. The extra 6-7 laps was really big, and I took it easy on the tires the whole time, gaining, catching them. I was 3 or 4 seconds behind them when I came out of the pits, and just rode nice and easy, eating the time gap away. And when I caught him, started running a little harder, passed him easily. Well, that Logan got into the wall and made it easy for me to pass them both at that time. And then I just paced it. And just in case he was faster than me, I knew I had an advantage with the tires, but just in case he was faster than me, I just kind of kept that gap of about 1.3 seconds. And towards the end, I noticed he was dropping back, and the car was feeling great. So I just put the hammer down, and I was running like 6-7 tenths off the pole speeds there at the end of that run, and pulled away just to put a little punishment on him there at the end for fun.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you did just that. And I don't know if you knew coming into tonight, you're in a three-way tie for the most wins on the season. Here with this is now win number 5 on the season, and putting you in your own record book with the most ever wins on a Friday night series, with it being the first ever series, and that now sits at a whopping 5 wins on the season. With your limited starts, that's even more impressive.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I just, we've discussed several times, come out here and do this on Friday nights just for fun, and was always hoping, the car counts got up there for a bit, and they're a little bit down, but I knew this was the last race of the season. I wanted to, I supported them so far this season, wanted to come out and have some fun and try to give them some cars for this last race of the season. And it was a good time as always, and some good competition there, racing with Tyler and Logan. So even with the small car count, still had some guys to race with, and keep you on your toes and make it a fun race.
Oh, that it did. You three put on a great show up in front of this race. And like you said, Mike, you're here in Kansas for the actual, NASCAR race last weekend. Did you do any scouting for this race? You had to figure out something for this pace you had here tonight while you were being there.
I'd like to say so. And, I'm pretty much there every race for the most part for the last 5-6 years. But I would have to say, honestly, you can't learn much from the real world because they really rip the top there in real life. And you used to here, but for some reason it's not working right now. And I don't know if there's really, it's up there. It works. Don't get me wrong. Matter of fact, it's really fast for qualifying. But during the race for saving tires and stuff, really ate the tires. I mean, I was 30-23. So, really good balance. If you can, it's almost impossible to wear the right rear more than the right front in these cars, especially on iRacing and anything. So have to say a lot of people complain about setups and stuff, but man, that setup was right up my alley tonight. If I could get setups that drove like that everywhere I went, I'd be a happy camper. But yeah, bottom bound, really, really fast on the bottom. And you could run anywhere. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you can't go out there and run anywhere. But fastest line was definitely on the bottom tonight.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that. And it was kind of the more predictable line for keeping that right rear on you. Because we saw many a times, people start going to that top side, getting on that throttle a little bit sooner, and then that right rear just kind of lighting on up under them.
Yeah, it was definitely riding on the right rear. You could get it angry really fast, and it took a few laps to recover if you didn't kill yourself. But luckily, everybody did a great job with that, and we had a green to checker run. So I love loose setups, and I think it makes for better racing, actually. People are more careful with their cars and kind of spreads the field out a little bit. So it was a lot of fun in that aspect tonight.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like I'm sure you guys were having a blast behind the wheel in this one, and especially you, Mike, here down in victory lane picking up the win. And yeah, man, I mean, overall, season number 1 done and in the books. What's it looking like for this 43 machine here for the future? What do you got for plans maybe over the summer or stuff like that as well?
Yeah, I plan to do some time in the Elite Series for sure, running the Cup car. Enjoyed doing that. And then, of course, my sponsor and longtime league, Slim 500, I'll be doing some stuff with that during the summer that runs during the midweek because, I'll be out in the RV a lot. And then we'll see what's going on in the winter. I'm always game. I like to go out and run lots of different series, and I had a lot of fun racing here over the winter. And I'm trying to talk Rob into doing something with the ARCA car, like on Sunday nights or whatever. Sim 500 has a lot of great series over there, but they got some capped stuff just like they do here. And unfortunately, I can't run none of those capped things, so I have to look for the stuff I can get in. And I like to run a mix of cars, so I just kind of evaluate it when the time comes and go from there.
All righty, awesome stuff. Well, yeah, it sounds like we can see the 43 machine out there on track quite a bit here, and that's awesome to see. So, Mike, once again, congrats on the win here in this one. And, yeah, for the final time this season for you, my man, down in victory lane, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else on a great season with 5 wins here for the 43 machine.
You bet. Well, I really appreciate you, Brett, and your broadcasting company, massive conglomerate in the media mogul atmosphere, covering these races on Friday night. That's a lot of commitment. I'm sure sometimes it gets a little drawn down and hard to stay excited with some of the low car counts they've had. But with the racing up front, it's been a lot of good racing, so that makes it easier for you. And thanks a lot for committing to that. And Brandon and everyone at 802 for putting on the series, especially trying to get people out on Friday nights. That's a rough gig. But everything was great, and I had a lot of fun. Shout out to Turn 1 Heroes, my team. Don't have any racing with me here tonight. Scotty had some stuff going on and couldn't make it. And, of course, for allowing me to do it, got a shout out to the smoking hot wife and my cute little dog, Izzy.
Oh, of course, can't forget those, Mike. And I tell you what, we appreciate you, man, for your starts here. It's always been great to see you out on track. Can't wait to see you out on track here some more. And hopefully one day here, I would love to go up against you, go elbow to elbow with you sometime in some sort of car. I think that would be a blast.
That'd be great. Let's do it, man. Appreciate all your time.
Yeah, for sure, man, and thank you again. So, Mike, you have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the summertime, and we'll be chatting with you here hopefully sometime as well. So, Mike, take care, and thanks again, man.
Yep, I'll look forward to it. Catch you on the flip side.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our race winner down in Victory Lane, Mike Kelly, picking up the win number 5 for the 43 machine on the season. Now we'll head down and talk to the man of the season. That is the driver of the 80 machine, Logan Koger, leaving tonight with the 802 Busch Series champion. Logan, do you got a copy?
Sure do.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, you knew you coming in, you locked it on up, but after 100 laps, how you feeling at the end of Kansas here?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. That 80 machine looked like it was on rails. I don't know if you knew, but coming into tonight, you're tied for the most poles on the season. Here with the pole on the season, that puts you with the record-setting amount in the first season and the only season, let's say. 6 poles on the season. Of course, picking up another one here tonight. That was an awesome lap.
Oh, yeah, I knew I was one away, I think, from the record, and that was cool to break that record. It was pretty cool to dominate the first half of the race, too. It got away from the second half. I thought short pitting Mike would be the winning strategy, but unfortunately, the 3 to 4 lap first tires made a huge difference. Man.
Yeah, I'm sure going on back, you'd do things a little bit differently there, but I don't blame you for that move because, like you said, man, that first half of this race, you controlled it very well. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was really good the first half. I managed my stuff. I felt pretty well there that first half and could really hold my own. And once, I got the lead back from the 29 there on that second run, but I think I just used the tires up simply too much. Like, he even got around me and he was lights out after that point. So I just abused the tires way too much that second run. But the first run, we were really good. Led the most laps tonight, so there's something.
Yeah, of course, some more bonus points, to extend that championship point winning amount, let's say. But yeah, overall, Logan, man, what a season it has been. You're one of those dedicated drivers running the full-time series. I mean, looking back, 25 races now in the books. How you feeling at the season with the whole, as well as with the championship now in your hands?
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome. That's what we ran the whole season for, wanting to lock up the championship, and that was the goal going in, and we did that. Didn't know we'd win it by as much as we won it by, and definitely didn't know we'd have, the season that we had. But it was definitely fun. It was up and down season. Should have probably had more wins and more top fives, but some things didn't go our way. But that's the way it works sometimes in these series. But it was all in all an amazing season. Couldn't ask really for much more.
Oh, 100%. It was a great season. And speaking about those top fives, you said quite a few maybe got away from you. But looking at, the standings and the stats and all that, that's pretty much was the difference for you being the champion here this season. You had 14 top 5 finishes, whereas Coggin and Guerin each had 10 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't, it was very impressive to have that amount of top fives, but there was probably 4 or 5 more we should have had. Maybe could have had an even bigger lead. I mean, it would have been something if we had 20 top 5s. That would have been pretty cool, but
Yes.
definitely was different.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good, a steep goal to have for next season, but definitely achievable here because, like I said, 14 top 5 finishes here this season. And speaking about the goals, the big one check, champion already in your name. What's the goal for next season? Do you try and run it on back? What's the plan for the 80 machine?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to really run much next season, but you never do know. But I definitely had a lot of fun this season, so who knows?
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a blast to watch this 80 machine fight each and every week because I mean, season-long points, man, that's a challenge in and of itself because, those bad races really hurt, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was, I feel like earlier in the season especially, I didn't do as good of a job probably at maximizing a few of those races. Some of those top fives I was telling you about definitely early in the season slipped away maybe for me over driving the car and maybe making a mistake late in the race or something when I should have been in the top five possibly. But, did a much better job the second half of being able to get that consistency going. And, man, it was lights out at that point.
Yeah, that it was. I mean, like you said, a very, very impressive string in the final few races. And yeah, man, it was impressive to watch here. And I tell you what, we're definitely pumped up for you to walk away with the championship. And I mean, what does it feel like for you? And what does it mean to you to, have a championship? And what? I guess we'll leave it at that. We'll let you do the talking.
Well, being the champion's pretty cool. I know this is only sim racing, ain't the real deal, obviously, like we'd like, but it's still very cool. Anytime you come out here and win a championship even on the sim, this is not an easy league. We have some very competitive guys in it. So to be able to beat those guys, I feel like, it might have been a closer battle maybe if Cody had stayed in. I think me and him would have had a much more tighter battle, but I still think I could have beat him. I really would have liked to seen Mike and Chad run the full season. I think they would have been very competitive with those two in it. But I mean, all in all, it's just to answer your question, it's a real honor anytime you can do that, regardless of what it's in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even just my one win with the 802 iRacing League, I mean, I hold that pretty proud of myself, and to be a champion with this group, man, that is awesome.
It definitely feels really good.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Logan. Well, man, I tell you what, we won't hold you up too much longer. We'll let you get to, of course, championship celebrations with you and the team. 25 weeks, like I said, put into this to walk away. Man, that's got to feel great. And yeah, Logan, for the final time here in season number 1, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank for sponsors, teammates, anyone else you like to shout out to for a championship when it's all said and done.
Well, just shout out to all the guys who ran in this league, especially the guys who ran tonight. We had an amazing race, no cautions. Doesn't get much better than that. We had a great group of people all this season, so thanks to everybody who participated. Thanks to people who put on this league. I know Rob and Brandon put in a lot of work with it, so I appreciate that. That's really all I got to say.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Logan. Well, once again, man, go celebrate this championship. That is something special, and you add your name to a short amount of list of 802 champions. So, like I said, you go celebrate this. Have a great night. Have a great season, as well as off season, let's say, because we'll come back here in the fall, and we look forward to seeing you out on track, my man.
Yeah, thank you, bud. It's pretty cool when you win a championship when it's only season 1 and be the only one for a little while.
Oh, for sure. That list is very short with just your name on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, they can't take it away. That was the first season champion, so that's pretty cool.
Exactly. That's written in the records book now to the end of time. So, awesome stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, Logan. Well, once again, man, you have yourself a great rest of the night. Go party it on up, and once we wrap on up here in the booth, we'll go, of course, join the team and go celebrate, as I'm sure it's a big party here in Kansas, that's for sure.
Yep, thank you, bud.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was Logan Koger in the 80 machine, our season number 1 champion. Once again, congrats to the 80 and Logan. I mean, what a heck of a season it has been for him, and to put it all together like that. I've won a few championships in my time, and there's no greater feeling than seeing it all come together, all that hard work, pay on off when it's all said and done. So let's run through tonight's race results here and get things wrapped on up. And send things on off for season number 1. So Mike Kelly will pick up the win here tonight at one of his home tracks, and career win number 5 on Friday night. Tyler Lemon will bring it home second. Logan Koger will finish third and walk away with our championship in season 1. Daniel George Jr. here will finish in 4th, and Landon Audit, his first top 5 finish, will come tonight in the championship race. Brandon Guerin will bring home 6th, Frank Zingen in 7th, John Buell in 8th, Daniel George Sr. in 9th, and Dustin Coggin rounding out the top 10. Johnny Barker will finish 11th. 12th going to Bryson Anderson. Like I said, top 10 in points was Logan Koger. Dustin Coggin, second in points, runner on up there for the 46. Brandon Guerin in 3rd. Steve Ritter will finish 4th. Johnny Barker will finish 5th in points. Ron Holyfield will bring home 6th. 7th is Rob Lowell in the standings. George Ledsma in 8th. Cody Gibson 9th. And Bryson Anderson here rounding out the top 10 in points. So once again, guys, got to thank each and every one of you tuning on in here, whether live or replay, for this first season. It has been awesome to see you guys tune on in, support your drivers, as well as support Turn 3 Racing Network. It means a lot for myself, and yeah, we look forward to season number 2 as we get to do this all over again here once again. So, of course, Friday night here with the 802 iRacing League, going to take some time off for the summertime, as of course everyone has some Friday night summertime activities, but we'll be back in the fall. And yeah, that would do it here. Once again, we got to thank 802 iRacing League, all the drivers that came out either tonight, some point in the season, to be part of the show, as well as all the admins, Brandon, Rob, all the hard work that they do in the background, as well as the sponsors, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, Admin Boxx, GStone Motorsports, Stone, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as the 802 iRacing podcast and everything 802 iRacing League related. But yeah, that'll do it for me here tonight with Turn 3 Racing Network. Turn 3 Racing Network, of course, bringing you some great sim racing action throughout the week, on the weekend. So if you're feeling some sim racing action, be sure to tune in to Turn 3 Racing Network. Have a lot of different options to choose from, and of course, a lot of great racing to watch. And also, Turn 3 partnered with Premier Setup Shops. You can find out more by clicking the link in the description. I'll take you over to their website and will be greatly appreciated by myself. So, yeah, that would do it here during the off season. If you want to stay up to date with the 802 iRacing League, check them on out on Facebook by searching up 802 iRacing. So, yeah, that'll do it here tonight for myself. Everyone, take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your weekend, have a great summer here, and we'll be back in a few months on the Friday nights with the 802 Busch Series. So, that'll do it here for myself, and yeah, I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.